Prince Henry of Prussia. Prince Henry of Prussia was the younger brother of Kaiser Wilhelm II, a grandson of both Wilhelm I and Queen Victoria. He was a naval officer and rose to the rank of Grand Admiral. This video will focus on the life of Prince Henry of Prussia. If you would like to support my channel, please like, comment, subscribe, or even check out my Patreon page. It really helps me to create new content. Prince Henry of Prussia was born the 14th of August 1863. He was the third child and second son of Frederick III and Victoria, Princess Royal. As a baby, Henry was quite restless. As he grew into a toddler, he would cry to be carried around and was quite attached to his mother, Victoria. Victoria found his behaviour difficult to handle. He would often throw tantrums when he did not get his way, and would kick and scratch the maids when they didn't do what he wanted. When he was only 3 years old, Victoria sent him to spend the winter with his maternal grandmother, Queen Victoria, hoping she could help. In 1863, Henry's parents bought a rundown property and refurbished it into a farm, which allowed the family to live a simple country life periodically. During winter time, Henry and his siblings lived in Berlin, and they spent their summers in Potsdam. Due to his father's position in the Prussian army, Henry's father was often away from home. His mother was strict with her children, expecting them to exhibit moral behaviour. She raised her children in English-style nurseries and fostered a love of her native country in several of her children by incorporating aspects of English culture in the home. Like his older brother Willem, Henry was tutored at home by George Hinspeter, who described Henry as being intellectually slow. As he grew older, Henry became quite good-natured, and most people had something good to say about him. After the deaths of Henry's younger brothers Sigismund and Waldemar, Victoria indulged her younger children, Victoria, Sophia and Margaret, while being harsh to her older children, William, Charlotte and Henry. When Henry was 15, he entered the German Imperial Navy, and over a period of 2 years he travelled throughout the world as part of his training. He passed his naval official examination in 1880 and attended the German Imperial Naval Academy from 1884 to 1886. Over the course of his naval career, he held several high-ranking positions, including Commander of the Baltic Sea Naval Station, Commander of the High Seas Fleet, and Grand Admiral of the German Imperial Navy. Though Henry and Willem had been close growing up, after Henry joined the Navy, their paths in life diverged, and they were never as close as they were as children. Growing up, Henry fell in love with his first cousin, Irene of Hesse, and she fell in love with him as well. Irene was a grandchild of Queen Victoria, like Henry. On the 24th of May 1888, Henry married Irene. By this point, Henry's father Frederick had become the German emperor, but he was dying from cancer. The marriage was a loving one, and they had 3 sons together: Waldemar, Sigismund and Henry, named after Henry and his deceased brothers. Unfortunately, Irene had the haemophilia gene. She inherited the gene from her mother, Princess Alice of the United Kingdom. Waldemar and Henry were both haemophiliacs, and both would succumb to their condition. Waldemar died in 1945 during the Second World War after being unable to get a blood transfusion, and Henry died after hitting his head at the age of 4 in 1904. During the First World War, Henry was appointed to Commander-in-Chief of the Baltic Fleet. He successfully prevented the Russian Navy from attacking the German coast. At the end of the war, Henry's brother Wilhelm, Emperor of Germany, abdicated as German Emperor and King of Prussia. Henry left the army following this. Like many members of his family, Henry was forced to flee Germany, and he spent the rest of his life on his family farm near Schleswig. Like his father, Henry died of throat cancer on the 20th of April 1929 at the age of 66. Henry was similar to his father in many ways. Both were good-natured, humble, and trusted easily. Henry also appeared physically similar to Frederick. Ultimately, Henry lived the life that his brother, the former Kaiser, secretly desired. A happy marriage with an intelligent, supportive wife, a fulfilling career, and a loving relationship with his English relatives.